Would you rather have 3 months or 3 weeks of the talking stage?
I feel like that depends on who the person is.
I would go with 3 weeks of the talking stage, because if you go any further, you're slowly creeping into the friend zone unknowingly.
Solid.
Yeah, really good points.
You, what do you mean depends? Go on.
I would just say like it depends on who
Talking, okay?
Yeah, who that person is and like the vibe, the energy, like what kind of do we like, I don't know. It depends on the person. Because let's just say I'm talking to someone who is someone that I could look at him and I just can barely hold myself back. I can't resist. Right? I don't want the talking stage to last long. But it could also be, what if he's someone that's like, he's cool and all, but I'm not sure if I could like see us together. Then talking stage might need to last a little longer because, I'm just not sure yet. Some people it's kind of like, right away, and then others you don't, type of thing. Like there's kind of that vibe. Like you get that vibe, like, yes, we could go, let's get past this talking stage. Let's get to the relationship. But then there's others where it's like, okay, I think so, but I'm not sure. And you just need more time. That's what I'm saying. And then some of it too is like looks. Like
my answer,
I might not want the talking stage to last that long.
My answer is 3 weeks.
You're what?
My answer is 3 weeks every single time.
I feel like most guys would only want 3 weeks.
Well, let me explain, right? Let me explain. The reason why I said 3 weeks as opposed to 3 months, right? Is because when you give that much time, yes, Marco, what you said, you might also end up in the friend zone. That is a predicament. But the other thing that I'm also more worried about is that a lot of people nowadays in this dating market is really, really big on the moment they see a red flag, they just jump to something else. Because
I know that is so true.
A lot of the dating market nowadays don't really look for, how do I say this, working things out, like that type of thing. Like not a lot of people date to try to work things out and try to be like work on chemistry and all that stuff. Nowadays, a lot of people nowadays don't. They rather just bump into the person that'll check most of the boxes as much as they can, and that they're just gonna keep moving along to find something else that'll check out most of the boxes. So that's why I rather do a 3-week talking phase, because the moment they see a red flag, they can kind of like excuse it. And because you're dating now, you kind of like start to work on the chemistry and adapting with each other and all that stuff. Because I'm the same way, because if I've been talking to someone for like 3 months, which gives a huge window of opportunity for me to bump into someone else, that most likely my eyes are somewhere else now, because I saw your one red flag. I'm guilty of it myself. Like I'll admit it. So I would rather just find someone who is willing to, or will actually have the motive to actually adapt. And love is like, I don't think it should be timed either. If you guys fall in love with each other in 3 days, then you fall in love with each other in 3 days. If you fall in love with each other in a month, you fall in love with each other in a month. If it took you a year to fall in love with each other, you fall in love with each other a year. Love comes in different times, and it can happen in different times. And it doesn't matter if you fall in love with a person in 3 hours, So
That's true.
I think love is so rare, and it's like a commodity that you should just grab it and run with it, For me.
That's a good point.
And so far at all my relationship that that I've been in like long with, or my long relationships, if I really think about it, majority of them, I never even talk to them or get to know them past a month. Like I've only talked to them sometimes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then we end up dating. And then like one of them I would date, and we were together for 8 years. Well, I say 8. Yeah, so it shows. And then, the other one, I only talked to her for like 3 days. And then I dated her for 2 years. You know what I mean?
Dang.
I only ever talked to her for like 2 days. And then we dated for each other for 2 years. And then,
dang, that's a long dating time.
But it's like, but there's girls that I talk to for like, I shit you not. There's girls that I talk to for like 2 or 3 months. And then we stop talking. Or we'll date. There's girls that I'll talk to for like 2 or 3 months. We'll date, but then within like the first 2 or 3 months, we don't last. Like we end up breaking up, and it's because of that. Because it's like they feel as if the relationship is so new that maybe they should just end it now before it gets any worse. And it's so like the adapting to the relationship. If you've been talking for that long, it's not programmed or trained into most of the dating market people nowadays. And
Or
it's
do you feel like you're talking so long that you get to know more about them and it's kind of like, yeah, probably not.
a
Do you
lot.
feel like it's you get to know too much and then you don't want it?
Yeah, that's
Whereas if you go ahead and start dating,
yes.
once you get to know the things that aren't so great, you're dating, so you're going to work it out.
No, the other way. You had it right the first time. No, knowing too much because of like when you discover things about people. I don't know. For me, it's exciting. It's like you don't like spicy food. Like wait, what? Like it's, or like random things that like wait, you had a sister? Like oh, damn, I didn't know. Like
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
my sister thing, but like it's like I don't like ruining the mystery. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that is
I
true.
like discovering things about people. So it
Right. I hear you.
even things like you snore while you're sleeping. It's cute though. Like what I mean? Like
Yeah, that is true. Because
yeah.
once you know too much, you don't see them in the same light.
Right. I totally agree.
While you're talking, remember that while you're talking, right? Or if you're dating and like, okay, there's a reason why arranged marriages, majority of it is successful. There's a reason, and that
I
reason
still can't get with those.
I know, but the reason is because they are. I wouldn't say forced.
They're forced.
When but when you're no, because you do have a say in the beginning, whether you do or do not. There is a brief moment of like interviewing, right before you pick your person for life. It's just people just think that like your parents just set you up and you have no say in it, and then you have to get married with the person. That isn't true, and I know a lot of Muslim people, a lot of Indian people, that you do have a say in the beginning before you actually make your final choice, before your parents set you up. But what I'm saying is that the reason why it works out is because they're married, because they're married and they're locked down. All the negative things, they are like, that's the part that's kind of forced. You have to learn to adapt to each other because, it's not as simple as like, fuck you, I'm leaving. Okay, we live in the same house.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're going to, all right, you're going to sleep in the living room? Or like, you know what I mean? It's like when they get into an argument or they have disagreements and stuff like that, they have to work and compromise with each other because of the tradition and the values is that they kind of teach you that you have to work things together, right? And that is part of keeping a relationship healthy. That's why a lot of arranged marriages work because it's kind of built into those people that, hey, you guys, this is part of a relationship. You have to work things out. That's why they have therapy and all that stuff. But if you're in a, like, I guess you can kind of say a godless society, such as the Western, right, in America, right, where it's like you come to a disagreement. And because you have all these options, you can walk out with no repercussions. You don't have to work things out, and some people are not confrontational. So what do? They take the easy route out, and that's why I believe that like a lot of arranged marriages, because of that concept, is why they work so well together, as opposed to non-traditional type of societies such as America. That's what I feel.
To what you said at the very beginning, you technically did say it, but indirectly is also time. Because we've also mentioned this many times before, is that as you get older, you learn to realize that your most valuable asset is time. So when you're like our age,
That's
you're
true.
not gonna give anyone your time as easily.
That's
So
true.
you choose as to who you're gonna give your time to and how much of it.
Right.
That's why I say that's why another reason why I also said 3 weeks as opposed to 3 months.
That's
Because
true.
Yeah.
think about it, like 3 weeks is almost a month. A month is usually like 4 to 4.5 weeks.
Right.
But yeah, so you're in the talking phase for almost a month, so that should be more than enough time of you to decide if you want to actually start dating this person or not.
That's
I
true.
agree. I think 3 weeks is good enough. 3 months is too long.
For
And
someone to make you wait 3 months, that is too long.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
And I think like if you decide to date right away, you can get that same feel of kind of an arranged marriage. Like if you date right away, you're just going to choose to start working things out, right? Because you're choosing to commit. You're choosing to be with that person or even living together.
Yeah. In 3 weeks, and you made a decision within 3 weeks, I feel like you already made the commitment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think you kind of know, honestly, earlier than 3 weeks. You know if this person is like your person or you want it to go further. Like you already know.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah. Because in 3 weeks and they told you that they had a sugar mama, you can make your decision.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Let me find somebody else. Keep your sugar mama, do your thing. Yeah,
right.
personally for me, I'll get my own money.
Be honest in the very beginning.
Right. Right. Say that up front. Let me decide if I want to be in an open relationship, okay? Or in a situationship. Give me the options.
That's true.
Right? That's all you got to do. Be honest. You don't have to like try and lie and everything because truth is going to come out eventually.
Yeah, Luigi. How much is in your bank account? All right. Let's move along, shall we? What is the oddest object in the room when you guys were bumping ugly?
Oddest object?
I didn't have a flashback. What was the oddest object in the room while you guys were bumping ugly?
In the room or in the vicinity?
Like the vicinity. Yes, there you go. The vicinity. Like around you. What was the oddest object around you during the time that you were,
A dumpster?
a dumpster?
A friend who told me a story about a little alley hookup.
This was in a parking lot, and I will say in a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot.
Okay.
There was a dumpster right there because it was the darkest spot.
Smells good. It smells like coffee.
The darkest spot.
Yeah, the darkest spot in the parking lot. It was
in the parking lot, off in the corner.
Exactly, right next to the dumpster.
I don't know about you, but that would just give me caffeine energy. Just smelling the coffee grounds and stuff like that. It is not an object though. Q, what's
a dumpster, huh?
Because I know I can't say mirror because of the fact that I've used that before in one of our episodes, so I had to say something else.
Okay, mine would be not the oddest, but standout is the ocean. So
The ocean?
that's all. Yeah. Any question?
Her roommate. I think that would be the oddest object.
Like that Dave Chappelle episode? The real world?
Yes. Her roommate. I think that's the oddest object. That's the room. College dorm. I had said this in the previous episode when I was talking about that I was bumping uglies inside of a college dorm. This girl's college dorm. And when I was trying to exit and leave, but trying to grab all my clothes, my foot got tangled around her bra, right? And I was trying to lean over and tell her quietly because her roommate is asleep next to her, right? She's asleep. Make sure we waited for her to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, my foot is stuck. And then she goes, yeah, you're stuck on my bra. It's a booby trap.
Oh my God.
I started laughing and she started laughing because it was so fucking clever. And then I'm trying to untangle it and I'm standing up butt naked. And she's like, I know what you guys are doing. And I was like, oh no, I hop back in.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like dorm room fucks, like come on. Like nobody sleeps that hard through anything like that.
And then you can hear us. You can hear the slapping sound.
You can hear anybody in a dorm room. Let's keep it real.
You heard the macaroni and cheese sound?
Yeah, the sound of the macaroni and cheese and stuff like that. You can hear the shh so fucking loud that like it's like you're shushing in her ear. Like you hear all of it.
Oh my God.
And you're trying to be quiet as fuck. And it was like, and she's like, I know she was awake because I know her roommate was awake.
Yeah, you had to be.
And you want to know what gave it away that she was awake?
What?
She stayed in the same fucking position for the whole 30 minutes.
Yeah, the whole time. There's no way. Like I would have been like, you know what? I'm just gonna go.
Usually
I don't know.
Sleeping, they readjust their body.
Right.
Like you and I have kids, right?
Yeah.
We both have daughters.
Yeah.
How many times have our daughters moved around in their bed?
Oh, plenty of times.
Right? This girl stays.
Just people in general move around.
So when I noticed that she's been in the same sleeping position for 30 minutes facing the wall, I knew exactly that she was awake.
Imagine she was like facing you guys.
Oh my God.
Like, hey God, can you imagine that? I would just stop. I would just be like, would just put the cover on top.
Here's what's going on in her head. Like, how can I like block this out? What can I do? I got to, like, this is not happening right now.
You stayed in the same fucking position. No fucking way, bro.
I should have put a sign on the door. We should have had the signal because this is not, I can't.
I know what you guys. I can hear what you guys were doing.
Yeah,
I know what you're doing.
when I stood up naked. But you know why? Because she chuckled at the booby trap line. That's why. So you can hear.
Shoot, I would have straight got a picture. I would have been like, okay, I know what you're doing. Flash on. Y'all have been caught.
The other object I was thinking inside of my head too was this girl's dog. That's the other object.
She had a dog there?
No, it was not the college girl. It's a different girl.
Oh.
But she had a dog in the room, and the dog, like, I'm sorry, man, but when you're fucking and there's a dog in the room that's awake, right? I don't know about you guys, right? But I get so fucking paranoid that the dog is gonna just hop on and then try to like just bother us or something like that.
Oh yeah, like you want to be playful and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
While you're fucking, and then out of nowhere, the dog licks your ass crack or something. Like,
I've never experienced dealing with a dog in the room, so I don't know.
Or if the dog just starts humping you, like,
yeah, or something humping you or humping her because you're in the position.
yeah.
But this dog, like, she just stayed like on the bottom of the bed the whole fucking time. But I heard it got up
On the bed. Oh my gosh.
Oh, she didn't get up on the bed, but I heard it woke up from from the ground, like got up, like woke up, and then walking to the door after in the middle of us, like upping ugly.
It was like I've heard enough.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Time for me to go.
But that's the only one. But I guess to me, I think the oddest object that I could think of is another person, and it was her roommate, her college roommate. I wonder if her college roommates still talk about that to this day.
I could not. Yeah, no. Dorm room fucks are not the thing. Like they're not a thing. Not
It makes me feel better. We weren't planning it. Like I was planning not to get lucky that night. I really thought I wasn't going to. I thought I wasn't.
right.
But the fact that like it was getting late and we were still playing cards, like it was the four of us, right? One of her dorm mate that was next to her.
Yeah.
Right. When she came over and I was just sitting there with three girls. And my date, she was there. We just finished the date and we just came back to chill at the door and talk. And I thought that was like, there's no fucking way that I'm fucking tonight. It's just because you're like this
Right.
another girl and stuff like that.
You just kind of get that feeling.
Right? But we're just so we started like cuddling on the bed and we're watching stuff on like her iPad together and stuff. And I fell asleep because that fucking show was boring. It was Twilight, by the way.
Oh my gosh, that's a good show. That's a good movie.
Already.
So
Oh.
Huh?
Did your date make the move on you then?
Yeah, I was like, no, kind of like she was going like in and out. I was falling in and out of sleep, and then I was like maybe kissing her on the cheek or her neck or whatever, and then she would like kiss me, and then we started kissing, and we turned off the iPad, and her roommate was like, she already started to sleep.
She was like, "Oh, that's my cue to."
No. Like she was already started to sleep, but she was like facing us, right? Because she would look at the Twilight clip and then face up to the ceiling, face up. And when we started making out, that's when she faced to the other side.
That was her cue to.
Yeah, she faced the other side of the wall because she sees us kissing, and then she never turned back after. She never turned back after.
Then she chuckled. I heard everything.
And we were both looking, and we were like, I think she's asleep. I was like, I don't know. I never slept there before. She always this quiet when she's sleeping. And she's like, I can't say the girl's name, so we're just going to say, girl. Okay, no, she's asleep. Two girls, and she never replied back. She probably thinks like, no, if I say something, they know I'm awake.
Yeah.
Would you date the exact version of yourself, but the opposite gender? Why and why not?
That's a really good question.
It is.
Hell the fuck no. I would not. I would not. Not saying I'm a bad guy to date, but I would not.
Okay, I would, because I just want to know what it would be like to see the to date the male version of me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But like, not looks wise, just say personality is exactly the same.
Yeah.
But in like someone else's body. Personality.
Right.
Is exactly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I would just want to know. And at least I know all the things that I like to do that we would like to do the same thing. So that wouldn't be a battle. Like, you don't want to do this? Okay. So it's like you always got to compromise when you're with somebody, or a trade off. Like, okay, I'll give up me wanting to, I don't know, skydive because you don't want to. I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know if it'd last, but I would definitely be curious.
In theory, that should technically be a perfect relationship, only because you'll know each other's like what gets them
Everything.
yeah, like what sets them off and what makes them happy and stuff like that.
Yep.
So like in theory, that should be like a really perfect relationship. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, like, yeah. But to date a female version of me, I wouldn't, because of the fact that, okay, let me explain why. Right, and it's not the promiscuous or any type of thing that I may be doing or may not be doing, right? Before I'm accused of that. But it's mostly because if I am dating the same exact version of me who likes the same thing, who does the same mundane thing and stuff like that, there's no interest.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was gonna mention.
Yeah. Like,
it's a double-edged sword.
So far, all my exes, they're very opposite of me. I noticed that. They're the exact opposite of me. I'm like, well, here's a great example. I'm extroverted.
Mhm.
All my exes are extremely introverted, like on the really far end of introverted, right? And the opposite really do attract, because she shows me things and taught me things that like we live in the same world, same earth, but she's like living in a different world, and same as me, she feels as if I live in a completely different world, and we kind of show each other and teach each other the world from like completely different views. Like, for an example, I work hard, corporate, and I'm invested in my work, and I think about financial things and doing and planning out financial bills, and then I mix and splash some of my family and stuff like that. She lives in a very like, money isn't the all, right? It's all about her mental health. Family's important to her. Taking care of her lover and cleaning is important to her, and food is important to her, and exercising and being healthy and spending time making memories. And that money barely even goes through her head. Like, it's important. Like, she goes to work, she gets the money, whatever, right? But she doesn't really give two fucks about it. But then what she's into, like, such as like, for an example, I watch like at nighttime, I watch murder mysteries and stuff like that to kind of pass the time while I'm in my bed. And she watches random shit like fucking the hardest thing insect, the praying mantis shrimp attacking crab. She watches things like that, and I'm like, oh fuck, like, like she's so opposite, but it's like, and I'm opposite, that we kind of like that opposite attract, and we're kind of teaching each other about different things about each other. It makes the love grow more. But if I were to date the same person as me, who would sit there and eat ramen noodles for the rest of their life and go to work for the rest of their life and pay bills and give it all to our family and friends, each other, and watch the same fucking movie together and share the same memes with each other of the cool guy, it'd be very boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword because I would go with Q on this one just to see what it was like, and then I'd understand my ex a lot better. But dating someone like,
But it wouldn't be your ex; it would be your girlfriend.
right? But yeah, it's a double-edged sword because it technically, in theory, would be the perfect relationship, but at the same time, it would be very boring and mundane. There'd be no excitement. So that's the bad side of it. But I would do it just to see what it's like to date a version of me. You know?
Yeah, I definitely would want to, because I've always ended up dating opposites, and they're major introverts and I'm a major extrovert. And I'd like to see what it'd be like to be with someone like me who likes to do a lot of things and always has like big dreams and is adventurous and all that. We might be a little tired, but Yeah, I would just be curious to see what it would be like because I've always dated a cis. I'm trying to think if I've ever dated anybody like just like me.
It would also open your eyes if you think about it, because then you'll be like, I do that? Like, I'm like, I never realized that I'm just like that as well. And you know what I mean? Like, you'll notice,
Yeah,
you'll pick up on things that you've never noticed before.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the other thing I was scared of
Because you'll get an outside perspective of yourself.
that's true.
because I'm very okay. I'm gonna use sex as an example, right?
Uh-huh.
Because you imagine if one person, the one who's always on top, right? And I'm dating
Mhm.
a person who is like me. We both always want to be on top.
Mhm.
One of us has to be at the bottom. You know what I mean? Okay, like that's an example. But the other thing that I was afraid of is that competitiveness. Competitiveness,
Yeah.
right? It's like, yes, I am very modest where I know I'm not the best, but I will always give it my best, right?
Hmm.
I use that line a lot because I am like that. But I try really hard at everything. And I feel as if I bought her, like, let's say a freaking Mercedes, right? An example. Okay, maybe that was a bit extreme. I bought her like a Louis Vuitton bag, right?
Mhm.
Then she would try to outmatch me in it.
Yeah.
When for me, it's really just the thought that counts,
Mhm.
right? I'm not really looking at the price point, but she would be competitive in it, try to outmatch me in things. Or if we're playing video games, if I'm dating the exact version of me, the both of us are extremely, really, really good at like first person shooter, for an example. And then, well, actually, even chess, it would be really
Yeah.
difficult to play up against myself because of the fact that we will most likely be there for hours.
Yeah.
It could
But
really-
then couples always try to figure out what we have in common too. I mean, I feel like a lot of that's out of the way.
I don't even look for the common part. I like the uniqueness in each other.
Yeah, because it's so you want a good balance, because you want to have a good balance of what's in common, so you can get along with each other. But then at the same time, you don't want to have everything in common to have that uniqueness.
True. Yeah. But what the good part is, I want to say the good part is that the relationship goal. That's the one part that I would be happy about.
Mhm.
But for me, it's like I would date to be with someone for a long time, and I don't really want to date anyone if it's short
Mhm.
or live or waste of my time. I'd rather have a long relationship. Of course, it's not a life partner, but like a long relationship, you know. Um, and then if I would date the exact version of me, I would know that that person would also want a relationship that will last and compromise.
Right.
I understand that.
And who will be faithful.
Yeah, and that's the bright side to it. That's the only bright side about dating the exact version of me, but opposite gender. I feel like that's the good part.
Yeah, I agree.
I honestly, when I thought of that question, my answer was no right away. And for some bizarre reason, all I could think about is like, oh my god, because what if that person, if I look at myself but a female version of me would be a fucking. I mean, I might have
Don't
to
you think it'd be kind of fun? Like,
but like,
I feel like I would be happy to meet somebody like me.
she's fucking promiscuous. She just be like, she has guys chasing her 24/7. He just
Like, all my pickup lines don't even work on her.
yeah, because she
Like,
knows she
I know my tricks.
now. She and if I ask her, here's the other thing: how many exes have you had? And she looked at me and told me the same thing that like she doesn't even know herself. Then I'll be like, damn, that is bad. But then if she asks me and I give her the same answer because that is also my answer,
Right.
then it's like, damn, that is also bad. That's
But it's more like, damn, we get each other. Like, I get it.
my brain was like, we were young, but it was like, oh my god, it's like, yes, maybe it's not
Right.
a fucking good idea to date the exact version of me. But maybe some traits, yeah, some good traits of me, yeah. But there's a lot of bad traits of me, and I'll admit it right now that I wouldn't want I wouldn't want my significant other to have those traits. And
I mean,
which is
yeah.
some of the traits that I just said.
You'll be doing the
Yeah.
Spider-Man meme with yourself.
Yeah, but I feel like I have like a lot of good traits. So I would want to meet a guy who has all those same traits. Like, I think it would just be so cool at first. I mean, obviously we'd butt heads, but then I'd butt heads with it. I mean, we'd get into it with whoever. So whether you're my opposite or not, I don't know. I would really love for that to happen. I would be really curious to see what it'd be like, what the relationship would be like.
So for you, it'd be dating an extroverted person, right?
Yeah, somebody extroverted. Yeah, because I always attract opposites, the introverts.
Yeah, I've also most of my exes are introverted. As you could tell from the story of my friends, like when Marco
Yeah,
says, she could at least said hi.
Yeah.
That's
right,
a joke, but it's a good joke though.
Yeah.
right, something.
Like Marco, she's introverted.
I'd always like
Marco's like, at least a fucking thank you would be nice.
yeah, I know. I'd make it like very more dramatic just to add more emphasis to the joke.
Yeah,
Right.
introvert. Yeah, I've dated all introverted girls. I don't know why. Just I don't know. That's I mean, I do know why because I like those type of girls more. But I am curious to date an extroverted girl. I am kind of curious to be how they'd be like. But as far as I know, no, I haven't dated recent couple girls I've dated. I want to say like at least in the past 10 years, they've all been introverted. All of them, 100%.
Yeah, me too. And it's not even that I'm even attracted that way. It's just, I don't know what it is. I think introverts are attracted to extroverts. That's what I think because that's what they always tell me. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah.